to the annual Coder School Coder Fair Demo Day. All right. So I'm Michael. If you don't recognize me, I'm the facility manager here at Henderson, and it's been an absolute joy to have your kids here and really create some magical things right on their computer. So welcome. So the reason why we have this fair, and the reason why we have this school is because coding is a very important tool that just not enough people tend to use. It develops a lot of skills outside of just computer programming, like math, problem solving, language skills, even creating projects, planning them, creativity, and teamwork. This is a lot of useful things that just coding simply in Scratch can teach you. But obviously a lot of the coaching kids are making things a bit more advanced than that. So that's why they're in coaching. So coaching teaches even more things, like how to present, how to make a project based on learning and experience. It's also a good opportunity for kids to start working on their college portfolio. A lot of the projects that they make can be useful when filing applications to either jobs that they might want to get or getting into schools in upper end computer science programs. And it's also just a good opportunity for them to gain inspiration from other students that they work with. So like I've said, we're really proud to have the kids here. They've created a lot of great things, and they're going to continue to create a lot of great things ever since their first session all the way to their last. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go around for each of our coaching kids, and we're going to see what their projects are like. So our first presenter is going to be Luca. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I am that guy.
So close.
Okay, that's alright. Shoot. What do I do? Okay, I am 10 and I go to Luke Elementary. I've been coding Python for a year. Favorite program is a graphing. Okay, it's actually Python, but I guess I wrote that down wrong. This is basically how, it gives you the highlights of the moves you can play and everything. It works handy dandy. So, yeah.
Use the microphone.
Oh, sorry. It works. That's what I'm saying. But, yeah. Sorry.
There we go.
I was given VS Code. The programming language was Python. My graphics were powered by Python, a library of Python used to make games. I programmed my game to recognize dark from light squares by using a mod function. A mod function takes the value and divides it by some number and returns the remainder. It is useful in this instance because it outputs either 1 or 0. If you make the input 3 divided by 2 in the mod function, it works. Yeah. Thank you for listening and your time and letting me destroy. Okay, whatever.
Stella.
So my name is Stella, and then I'm 11, and I go to Coral Academy Science Las Vegas, Windmill campus. And then I had nearly 2 years of coding, and my favorite programming language is Python. So what I've been working on in this coaching class is this website called Music Beats. And then I basically made lots of music based on fruits. And some of my favorite ones are watermelon, like this one. So yeah, and then I also made this one after this. also adjust the volume if you want for these. And then, yeah. So this is like the code for my website, and yeah. I also put a favicon here. I don't know if you could see it, but it's just like a tiny dancing beat.
Good job. Oh dear.
It is.
My name is Jaden. I'm 10 years old and I go to CSLB. I have 1 year of coding experience, and my favorite programming language is Python. This is my first game I've made in Unity. So it's not like that complex. Like I used VS Code for this with C#. Yeah. It's a pretty simple game. You drive the truck around, you hit rocks and stuff. Yeah, it's a very simple game. Like, it's the first one I made in VS, so VS C#. So yeah, this is the Unity truck game. I made this project in Unity, and I coded it everything in C#. The game is just like, it's simple. You just drive a truck around, you knock down rocks and stuff. Yeah, so I learned some basic C# coding techniques, and I learned about the interface for Unity. I use rigid body to get the rocks to fall over and stuff. Something that I have to fix with the camera angle. This is some screenshots of my project and some of my code. The code on the left is to make the camera follow the player. And the code on the right is to move the truck. Thank you for listening. Any questions? That's done.
Okay. So, Henry, you're up.
Hi everyone, I am Henry. I have been coding for around 6 years, I believe, and I've made several different games over the course of my time as like a programmer.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, over my time as a programmer. So, yeah, it's not showing up on my screen, but it is showing up on there. It's kind of odd. But anyway, so this is my game. I've made a bunch of games over my time as a programmer, and this is the newest one I've been working on. This is basically a platformer that I'm making that uses the programming language GDScript. GDScript is kind of like JavaScript, but there is a few differences. Like for example, when you're making a variable, you have to actually introduce it with a prefix like var or const, which refers to what kind of variable it is. My favorite part, I guess the most complex part of my game that I've made so far, is the ability to do wall jumping. Wall jumping is created through a bunch of different mechanisms, but I think that the one I know the most about is probably the way the gravity works, which actually senses when you press the up arrow, and when you go above the ground, it's able to put a force on you to actually go back to the ground. You can't see it on the screen here because I don't really show it for like actual demonstrations, but there's a collision box around Henry. There's actually two. Henry was the character name. One of the collision boxes detects when an enemy hits it. Unfortunately, I'm still working on doing some debugging to the health, so I can't really demonstrate that. But for the collision box, there's the other collision box. That one is used to be able to tell when you are hitting objects. So Henryo's kinematic body is connected to a collision box, which is able to detect when it hits something like the ground. That's how he's able to detect when he hits things like, let's say, that wall, for example. the school. For future plans of my project, I'm probably going to be adding a lot of stuff like storyline and stuff that I already have planned out. So I have a script and different ideas for how the story will go. And overall I have like lots of different ideas for what comes in the future. In fact, I actually plan to make this like a full release of the game. Don't have a specific date yet. Thank you.
So I've been working on this, and even though I've been going for like 5.5 years. I'm using Scratch because I don't really, when I make them, I don't have. So basically, my game works. You can just, it has a camera variable with the X and Y and the player X and Y, and it has a hitbox that it can change to every frame before it shows it on the screen. So every time each part of the stage has a collision area and the player has a hitbox. So it can check so when you jump, you can see that it doesn't go right through because the hitbox, it'll check if it's going. When it moves, it'll go to around inside this block. So it can check with the hitbox. It knows that it's touching the stage hitbox, so it'll try and move up the Y because did that collision moves moving the Y, so it can move out with the hitbox, and it knows where to put the stage by the camera X variable and the player X variable. So if it goes too far up, it'll make sure to move the Y up, making the stage move down. Like if the player Y is too high, and if X is too high, it'll change the camera X. And one of the features in it is you can see how many birds you have and this. So it runs on frames, so each frame it'll check the player hitbox, and first it'll change the player Y by its velocity, and then if it's touching the stage, it'll move the Y out until it gets out, and then the X, and if it touches the stage, it'll get out, and then, first it sets hitbox before that, and so then it has all that, so then it can just, and then it'll change all the costumes based on this, such as climbing a wall, so if it's moving, it'll change that, and if it's loaded, you can see if I move this by using cloud variables. One thing is, so you have P, and it'll stop calling all the frames. So it'll just stop that, and it'll bring this here. Basically, it has a variable set, and X, every time you're going up, it'll change your stamina variable by going down faster, but you can see there you can't go up anymore. And if you have two different devices, you can press J on one and then J on the other, and you can see if it should work. Yes. So it uses cloud variables. There's a battle mode where you have a ghost character, and it mimics, so it just saves your movements, every movement that you do. You can have this, so if you press J on one, J on the other, you can see by using cloud variables, it can update this on the other player's screen. So if these were two different computers, it's just saving the player as a data point, such as it'll translate the costume into, or spread that it's using as a number. and then the X, and then a Y. They'll send that to the other computer, which will then decode it, and so then it can just, every time it moves, it'll just go to the other one. And that's basically it.
Hello, my name is Isabella. I've been coding for 3 years, and my favorite programming language is C#. I program robots at school, and yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm 17, and I've been here for a couple years.
She also teaches classes for the beginner kids.
Yeah, I am also a code coach here as well. And this is one of my websites that I've created. This is Mariah Carey Nightmare. This is, just kidding, that's not my project. This is a little bit about my website. Everyone knows like the famous song, All I Want for Christmas is You. You hear it in the in the malls all the time during Christmas time. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna create a website about this. Because everybody hears it all the time, and it's a nightmare sometimes. But I've added a couple twists. The music is looped forever, and the volume increases approximately 8 hours. 365 days in the year, so yeah. Here's a little bit of my code. I can show you a little bit more of it in my Visual Studios. So I've programmed a little bit in JavaScript and Styles CSS, and JavaScript basically controls the actual like numbers that are displayed on the website for displaying how many days there are until Christmas, because it's a Christmas countdown. It displays the days, the month, the seconds, the minutes, the hours, and the days until Christmas. Let's see. That's JavaScript, and then I have style CSS. This is like the imaging, the background, the layers, and you have to add in your own images and all of that. Here is my website. And
if you cast the TV, it'll play the music.
okay.
So it should be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
All right.
We
No.
did a show. We can show that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's the website. Okay. And then yeah, the website. I've learned a little bit that it's not easy to program websites, but it is pretty fun. Whenever you actually like learn how to program a website, it's actually like really fun because you can add your own stuff. It's your own website. You can create the title, add images, like the tabs, how they label the websites, all that. I find that really cool. And then the volume increasing part was kind of hard. I had to use mods, sort of like how Luca did that with his chess game. What I liked most about it was that it was entirely something that I could create. It's kind of like a video game where you can program whatever game you like, and it's purely for the fun of it. For this project that I made anyway. Sometimes you can use it for like other stuff, whatever. Any questions? All right.
Is it mobile responsive?
Huh?
Mobile responsive? Is it mobile?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. All right.
Hi, my name is Braden, and I'm age 16. I've been here for actually probably almost 5 years. Or no, I haven't been here for 5. I've been coding for almost 5 years, I think, because I think I started back in like start of 6th grade. And my favorite programming language is probably Python. It's just the one that I've been using the most. So this is my game. I used Godot for this. So for right now, we've only gotten really to the actual, like, just we haven't gotten to like battling and stuff yet, but we have gotten like some of the simple stuff, like the grass that you just saw, and going into buildings. And you can see I can like walk around and stuff. And So that's it for right now. This is kind of like the starting area. This is probably going to be like the starting area. Some other stuff, if I can. So on the right, you can see these are a couple of the sprites for, because the whole game is about where you can change Pokemon's types from their original type to something else. And these are a couple of the ones that I've made. The back sprites. Yeah, these, like this one. And some of the code. So this required a lot of code. Like a lot of stuff. So that's basically the entire game. For future projections on this, I would just like to actually get the whole basic Pokemon mechanics in the future, like actually being able to battle, type matchups, and all that stuff. And that's it.
That concludes our presentations for today. All right. Once again, we're really proud for all you who came out here and all of our coaching kids. Give them a round of applause. We'd also like to thank you guys, the parents, for supporting your kids through supporting their learning and supporting their academic endeavors into this. I know coding's not the easiest thing to try and sell to your kid who wants to go and play baseball or whatever, but it's really paying off. And as you've seen today, they're really able to create a bunch of new things and learn a lot from each other. So now we're going to go ahead and have each of the kids go to their stations, and this will be the opportunity for everyone to sort of mingle and get to take a look on a hands-on for each other's projects. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask anyone in the coding shirt. And that concludes everything right now. All right, thank you.